Doug, I'm going to throw it over to you, and let's talk about a specific program, a specific effort that you'd like to highlight for the listening audience.
So the specific program that I'd like to highlight at the SBA is the MySBA Unified Experience Structure, which I mentioned before, of Enterprise Single Sign-On, Portal, Enterprise CRM, and Enterprise Data Layer. There are many other initiatives that are going on at the SBA, but this one is the technology one that is attempting to cross everybody's silo. And that is the quite difficult one, because the whole goal is that in the field office of the SBA, when a small business owner walks in, that you can pull up the information from that field agent that has every phone call they've actually made, every application they did they apply for a different certification program, do they have a loan, did they have a PPP or another type of COVID-19 loan, was there a disaster for them, and what different businesses do they have, what's the ownership structure in between each one, and do they qualify for anything else that they may not know about. And gathering that all together across the various offices is critical to populate that customer data into the CRM. And the backing of that is the functional data layer, where we're going to have to actually read replicas. Some stuff is still on-prem. A bunch of stuff is in the cloud, but we have all
that's the world we're living in, right?
Yeah. And so integrating all that data, cleaning it up, because there's a very different aspect of, do you identify it as the business or do you identify it as the person in that? And trying to fit that together, because one person can have 50 businesses, or one business can have 50 owners. And so putting that together into a useful customer profile is part of the trick that you need to do. And not only in getting all that information for the field offices and anybody else at the SBA who will have secure access to actually look at that CRM data, the data layer itself is setting up a data cloud that we can actually run analytics on. And those analytics can be run anywhere, the old SQL, or we have actually output to different analytics platforms across different types of software, and for visualization, because most people don't understand with these huge amounts of data, and then you get a bunch of different information back, how we can actually put those together. And the idea of that one is finally getting to know what the different segments of our customer are. So if we have a neighborhood that's next to a major city, and like this one neighborhood is actually, they got a bunch of loans and they're all applying for loans, but the neighborhood right next to them is not, you would figure that shouldn't be the case if it's the same field office. Why is there one place that is actually being served by the SBA and the other place seemingly not served by the SBA? And so solving that problem across the United States beyond the United States, because there's 68 district offices, is a tough challenge. And you need to have that insight into it in order to look at who's not getting the services from the SBA and how we can sort of market these extra services up the SBA that you can take advantage of, from anywhere from the SBIR grants to the disaster lending to capital access lending for your new startup. There's a whole bunch of different ones. So that's what we're working on.